Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pronoun TV and the Stephanie Stevens Show. Tonight is my game show, and tonight is history making, and I wanted to be a part of history. So this is why we are engaging you tonight. So within the next month, a lot of decisions will be made about a lot of different things around the world. And we wanted to be part of history making. So tonight we're going to engage you with my game show again. For those of you that have never seen the show, it's just a mix of trivia. And sometimes I just ramble on, or sometimes hopefully I educate you or made you smile or brought back some memories of shows or events that have happened in the world that made you smile. So, I'm Stephanie Stevens from Pronoun TV and the Stephanie Stevens Show. And now I have a podcast on Spotify, That Girl from Orange County. Check it out sometime. So, tonight we're going to start off our trivia show with iconic superstars and iconic actors. This next celebrity was an actor, a director, and he created the show, the movie The Birds. The Birds. And in his contract, he appeared in almost every movie that he made. He appeared in almost every movie that he made. Does anybody know who this gentleman is? Who this movie director is? The Birds. The Birds with Hetty Timber. The Birds. Anybody know who this is? This is Mr. Alfred Hitchcock. Mr. Alfred Hitchcock. And he appeared in most of his movies. Either he was walking through a scene or just talking in a scene, but he was always there. Mr. Alfred Hitchcock. The Birds. We love Mr. Alfred Hitchcock. The next celebrity, she was an overnight sensation for Burger King. She had that famous slogan, "Where's the beef? Where's the beef?" Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? We're just going to say her first name, as you guys will understand. Anybody know who this woman is? Where's the beef? She was famous for that. 3 old ladies walking up to the counter at Burger King and asking, "Where's the beef?" This is Claire. Claire. Claire, where's the beef? I've asked that many times on a Friday and Saturday night after a few drinks. And of course, I'm having a little cocktail tonight. So I hope you guys are having a fabulous time. And I hope things are going well for everyone out there. If not, just do something with yourselves. And cheers to you. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. I didn't go out because I had to work. So, a girl, when you live alone, you have to work. You have to work. So they had me gigging out. So I loved it because it was great. I got to do 3 gigs in one night, and it was all Tina. So it was perfect. I had them dancing and laughing and carrying on. It was fabulous. Well, anyway, let me have me a little sip of this. The little sip that I'm having tonight is Jack. Y'all can figure out his last name. Well, anyway, coming up to you next, this gentleman is an actor. He was in the movie Ocean's 11. In the movie Ocean's 11. And he was also a past Batman. He was a past Batman. Does anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? That's right, this is Mr. George Clooney. Mr. George Clooney is almost a billionaire, or is a billionaire. That tequila of his is good. If y'all haven't had George Clooney's tequila, y'all need to get out and get you some. This is Mr. George Clooney. Coming up next is was one of the presidents of the United States of America. And he could play that saxophone. And I even heard that he smoked a little anyways. We won't talk about that. But he was a fabulous president. And he did a lot for the black community in America. Anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? That's right, this is Mr. Bill Clinton. Mr. Bill Clinton. We love us some Mr. Bill Clinton. He did a lot for the black community in the USA. Fabulous. Coming to us next is the dancing guru himself. He was fabulous. In the 1970s, he wanted us to lose weight. And he wanted us just to be fabulous and in shape. And now, apparently, he is doing other adventures in Hollywood these days. Anybody know who this dancing guru is? This is Mr. Richard Simmons. Mr. Richard Simmons. A lot of the young kids won't remember him, but I remember him very distinctly because Mr. Richard Simmons was just being himself. Yes, Richard, get it, girl. That's Mr. Richard Simmons. Yes. Coming up to us next is Mr. Culture Club. And he's been expressing himself for a very long time. And we love him because he has just been himself right from the get-go. And he sold millions of records from being himself. Before all of this drama came on about drag and all this gentleman here has been doing it from the get-go. Mr. Culture Club himself. Anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? That's right, this is Mr. Boy George. Mr. Boy George, he is fabulous. And he did the main song from the movie The Crying Game. That's Mr. Oh, we love us some Boy George. We love us some Boy George. He's always just been himself. Thank you, George. Coming up to us next, The Big Bang Theory. The Mr. Big Bang Theory. I just saw him the other day on a rerun of Ellen. I love watching Ellen's old shows. Anybody know who Mr. Jim, I just gave away the name. This is Mr. Jim Parsons. I'm sorry, I gave it away too quickly. Mr. Big Bang Theory himself. He's a real cutie. This guy is worth almost $100 million. Oh my goodness. I wish he liked girls like me because I'd be right over there. I like that title, The Big Bang Theory. Yes! Get it, Jim Parsons, The Big Bang Theory. Coming to you next. This is an iconic woman. She's all over social media now. She's 65. She's got her young thing. And I had me a few young things back in the day. And he was the biggest talk show host on television at one time. Anybody know who this woman is? Who this pop icon is? And this king of late night talk. That's right. This is Mr. Johnny Carson, and this is Madonna when she first started out. Oh my God, the young kids probably won't remember. They probably don't even know who Madonna is. It's strange. I asked 22-year-olds. I do a teaching class in some of the universities about the LGBT community. And I ask them sometimes about some of the stars that I show on the film and everything. They don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. Do the young kids know who Madonna is? Do they know her, or they just know her name? That's right, this is Mr. Johnny Carson and Madonna. Like a Virgin. Touched for the very first time at 65. Yes, girl, get it, finally. At 65, do it, girl. Coming to us next, this woman is a British singer. She's passed on now, and I love her because I do a lot of her music in my shows, and she's incredible. And she had such songs as Rehab and Back to Black. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this famous singer is? That's right. This is Miss Amy Winehouse, a fabulous singer who left us way too soon. We love us some Miss Amy Winehouse. She was fabulous. And I do all her music, a lot of her music in my shows, in my remixes. I do her because I really liked her voice, and she was just very truthful and honest in her songs, and I like that. Coming to your next is one of a fashion mogul, He's one of the biggest designers in the world today, and he is a billionaire. Anybody know who this billionaire LGBT community member is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? He's a fashion mogul. He dresses all the celebrities, and he's fabulous. His clothes are fabulous. I wish I liked older men because I'd be over there trying to try on one of them dresses in a size 14. I'm a size 14 there, Gianni. That's right. This is, oh my God, Armani. This is Armani. Giorgio Armani. I said, this is Giorgio Armani, y'all. And he's fabulous. He's a designer that's been designing for the superstars for many, many years, and we love him. He makes us all feel pretty, and he keeps us dressed up. He keeps us ladies looking good. And gentlemen, coming up next is a lot of people. I'm going to skip her because a lot of people won't know who this woman is. And I know if I do it, only the older people might know. Coming up next, though, is She's Homeless and Gypsy Woman. This woman was one of the biggest singers back in the 1980s. And we used to dance to that song, She's Homeless, all the time. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this singer is? She's fabulous. And we love her. We've been dancing to her music for many years. Many, many years. She's homeless. That's right. This is Miss Crystal Waters. Miss Crystal Waters, a fabulous singer in the 80s. And in the gay community, we used to dance to that song all the time. It's true. A lot of us have gone through homelessness and all kinds of dramatic things. And hopefully somewhere along the line, we are all going to be okay. Okay. Coming up to us next is three superstars. One is... I'll save that one for last. Coming up next is Thriller himself, Mr. Thriller himself. Pop King. He's passed on as well. Anybody know who Mr. Thriller is? Anybody know who Mr. Thriller is? That's right. This is Mr. Michael Jackson. Mr. Michael Jackson. We love Michael Jackson and we miss him. He set the standard for all the award shows. Since he died, all the award shows and none of that have been the same. This man set the standards for excellence with the award shows, and we miss him dearly. Coming up next, this gentleman has done a lot for the LGBT community. He set up an AIDS foundation, and he's fabulous, and I'm still standing. And he wrote one of the main songs for Princess Diana when she died, Candle in the Wind. Anybody know who Mr. 1979's hit, I'm Still Standing, better than I ever did? Ooh, you see, I still believe. And he has a new farewell concert on tour right now, the Yellow Brick Road. That's right, this is Mr. Elton John. Mr. Elton John, we love us and Mr. Elton John. He takes care of his community. Thank you, Elton. Coming up next is an iconic movie from Australia. And I'm not going to tell you the name of the actor. I'm just going to see if you can figure out what movie this is. Can you figure out what movie this is from? Can you figure out what iconic movie this is from? There were three drag queens traveling on the road, even through the desert, to get to their gigs in this country. That's right. This is Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. If you haven't seen it, this is an iconic movie with three traveling drag queens. Fabulous. With all different, I wouldn't say three drag queens. I would say one trans woman, a drag queen, and a father. And they were all doing this drag show, traveling drag show. You'll have to see it. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. It's a good movie. Very good movie. Coming up next is one of the presidents of the United States. He was 7 feet tall. 7 feet tall. You know what that means, ladies. You know what that means. Anybody know who this sitting president was? He's 7 feet tall. United States president. That's right. This is Mr. Abraham Lincoln. Can you imagine being 7 feet tall? Ladies, y'all know what I'm thinking. I could use one of those tonight. But anyway, coming up next is the Queen of Mean. The Queen of Mean. She was one of the meanest heiresses. Her husband owned a lot of the hotels in New York City. And they used to call her the Queen of Mean because if the maids did not clean the rooms properly the way she wanted, she would beat them up or fire them. Anybody know who the Queen of Mean is? The Queen of Mean. That's right. This is Miss Leona Helmsley, the hotel heiress. Oh, yes. Oh, this woman here was something else in New York City. Maids used to run when they used to see her coming into the lobby. They used to run. This is Miss Leona Helmsley, the Queen of Mean, the New York heiress that just used to You better make sure them rooms are real clean with Miss Leona, because she ain't having it. Coming up next is Phil. Oh, I almost gave it away. Coming up next is a man that put Tina Turner back on the map. He helped really revive her career, and he wrote all these songs for her, and he was fabulous. Apparently, there was a mishap in his mansion with one of his girlfriends, and he is sitting in jail, or he has passed on. I can't remember which one it is, but this is an executive producer, and he wrote lots and lots of hit songs for lots of celebrities in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. And he's now sitting in prison, or he's passed on. I don't know which one it is, but apparently there was a mishap in his mansion with one of his girlfriends who happened to slip down the staircase and became unalive. That's what apparently happened. Apparently, that's what's going on there. That's right. This is Mr. Phil Spector, and as you can see from the way he looks, anyway, this is Mr. Phil Spector. Spector Music. Yes, Lord, there was a mishap in his mansion. Coming up next is Mr. Bom Bom. Mr. Bom Bom. He's real cute, and he's part of our community. He's part of the LGBT two-spirit pronoun community, and we love him because he's real good looking, and he's got a husband and some babies and everything. He's running around Miami. Oh, I'll be running around there in the summertime. Just so y'all know that my 80s show will be touring all over the world. Coming up soon, I'll be able to announce everywhere that I am going to be with my one-woman 80s show. So I'll be able to tell y'all all about that. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be huge, actually. We're working on it. It's going to be a lot more than just the show. It's going to be a lot more. I can't talk too much about it. But anyway, look for it. And also remember, that girl from Orange County is now, well, coming up starting April, will be on Spotify. I have my own podcast. Things are happening over here at Pronoun TV, y'all. That's right. This is Mr. Ricky Martin. Mr. Ricky Martin. Mr. Shake Your Boom Boom. Himself. A real cutie. I wish he liked girls like me, but he's only into those Latin heartthrob top boys. Oh, did I say that? Coming up next is one of my favorite talk show hosts, and somebody that I really admire and I look up to, and I watch her shows all the time and a lot of her reruns because it teaches me how to do things for my show, even though I try to make sure that, because everything for my show is all about LGBT and sometimes just celebrities that we admire. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? That's right, this is Ellen. Ellen, she's part of the LGBT two-spirit pronoun community, and we love her. She ended her show a few years ago, and we miss her. We miss her. That show was good. We miss her. I wish she could have worked it all out with whatever the drama was. But anyway, coming up next to you is Miss Chicago herself, and she's also a rapper, and she does a song. She hosted many different things, and she was on A Different World. You remember that show? From 1979, 80s. I think it was 79, 80s. There was a show called A Different World, and she was on it. She also played Mama Morton in Chicago, but apparently now Miss Jinx Monsoon has that role. Go Miss Jinx Monsoon, girl, get it. That's right, this is Miss Queen Latifah herself, one of the biggest rappers in the world and actresses. She's very good. She was also in the movie Set It Off, with a whole bunch of other actresses there from the Red Table and all of that. Fabulous, fabulous actress, and she's part of our community, Miss Queen Latifah. We love Miss Queen Latifah just being herself. Yes, girl, get it. That's Miss Queen Latifah. Coming up to you next, Oh Mandy. Oh man, Mr. Las Vegas. We love Mr. Las Vegas himself. Y'all, excuse me. I'm having one of my boyfriends tonight. His first name is Jack. I can't tell you his last name. I'm drinking Jack tonight. Does that say who he is? Oh, y'all know who he is. I love Jack and Coke. Y'all know what I mean. Not that. I don't mean that stuff. I mean, Coca-Cola. Anyway, enough of that kind of foolishness. I don't want to be banned. I'm trying to be part of history. This next month, we're going to make a lot of decisions about a lot of different things, and I need to be a part of that history. Coming up, like I said, is Mr. Las Vegas himself. Oh man, do you? Anybody know who this gentleman is? That's right, this is Mr. Barry Manilow, and he's part of our community, and we love Mr. Barry Manilow. He does a lot for the LGBTQ community too. Thank you, Barry. Oh, real cutie. Coming up next this is a horror movie. I know y'all gonna say something slick about this next thing that I'm gonna do. This is a horror movie, but I love watching these here reruns of this particular movie. And I am a big fan of horror movies. So this gentleman here, he goes around and sucks the blood of white women or anybody he can find. But you know, it's strange. I've been watching these kind of movies for a long time, and I never see them in the black neighborhood. I mean, I'm just saying, have you ever seen Dracula? That's right, this is Dracula. Have you ever seen Dracula in a black neighborhood? I know y'all ain't never seen Dracula. Now, Dracula wouldn't last 5 minutes in Compton. He wouldn't last 5 minutes in Compton. Coming up to you next is a talk show host. Back in the 1980s, he was one of the big talk show hosts with Geraldo Rivera and Ricky Lake and Sally Jossie Raphael, and he had thrown his hat in the ring. We haven't seen him in a very long time. That's right, this is Mr. Montel Williams. Mr. Montel Williams, he's done a lot for the LGBT community too. We don't know if he's a part of our community, but we know that he did lots to support a lot of the LGBT community charities. So thank you there, Mr. Montel. That's Mr. Montel Williams. Coming up next, she's retired now, and she's also passed on, and we miss her. She was the creator of The View. The creator of The View. And she was just fabulous, and we loved her. Anybody know who this woman is? She was like one of the first anchor women. She was on the show 2020 with Hugh Downs. Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who this woman is? Anybody know who that woman is right there? The creator of The View. That's right, this is Miss Barbara Walters. Miss Barbara Walters from The View. Oh, and we love her. Now Miss Whoopi Goldberg is just taking over. But Miss Barbara Walters, you're iconic, and we will remember you forever, and you made a big impact because my parents never missed your shows. Never. You and Hugh Downs show 2020, my parents never missed those shows. Coming up next to you is another late night talk show host, and he was fabulous. He was young and energetic. I don't know what he's doing now. He was in the movie with Eddie Murphy, Coming to America 1 and Coming to America 2. Anybody know who that gentleman is right there? Anybody know who that gentleman is right there? He was a late night talk show host, and he was in competition with Jay Leno and not Larry King. What was the man's name? David Letterman. He was in competition with David Letterman and Larry King. And Larry King as well. And that's right. This is Mr. Arsenio Hall. Mr. Arsenio Hall. And we love Mr. Arsenio Hall, y'all. Get this back over here where it belongs. I don't know why it's moving. Our next celebrity was in Rain Man. He was in Rain Man, and he was fabulous. And this is him getting in drag for his role as Tootsie. Anybody know who this man is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? That's right. This is Mr. Dustin Hoffman from Tootsie. He's getting in drag right here to play the iconic role of Tootsie. We love Mr. Dustin Hoffman, yes, and he did it good. He did it with respect and dignity. No problem. Coming into your next, I just want to show you some actors that did drag, and I didn't even know they did drag until my agent, she dropped these things off over here and said, I want you to mention these people on the show. I didn't know. This is Woody Harrelson in drag. I didn't know he did drag. This is Woody Harrelson in drag. Now, I I know what y'all thinking. This is Woody Harrelson in drag. I did not. I'm not saying a word. I am not saying a word. But it's real strange that so many celebrities and politicians have done drag, and yet they, not the celebrities, but the politicians, seem to be criticizing drag, and a lot of them have been in drag or done drag or other stuff. Speaking of other stuff, coming to you right now from Tu Wong Fu. This is another actor that was in drag. I just saw him in John Wick. He's fabulous in John Wick, actually. Anybody know who this gentleman is? This woman is? Anybody know who this woman actor gentleman is? And he looks pretty good in drag. I must say, he looks pretty good in drag. That's right. This is Mr. Greg Louganis. I think Louganis. Mr. Greg Louganis. We love us and Mr. Greg Louganis. He looks real good. From Tu Wong Fu. Yes, this is the Greg Louganis. Now, this is another, I know his name is Ewan. I think it's Ewan. And I didn't even know he did drag either. I didn't even know he did drag. You see, this is another celebrity, and he is popular, and he's in drag too. Everybody's done drag. And it's strange how all these actors and these people have done drag, and yet they want to criminalize drag today and go through all these things. It's not right. It's not right. Drag is hurting. No, I'm not here to be political. I'm just saying, drag is just an art form, and it's what we do. And you haven't seen anything yet, because, honey, we're coming to the big stages around the world. And we're going to fight. We're going to fight to make sure that drag stays right where it's at. You can better believe that. You're not going to take away our livelihoods. I've been doing this 35 years. What do you want me to do now? I can't apply for welfare or assistance. I've been doing drag all my life, and I will continue to do drag because it's the art form and it's my life. All right, coming to you next. This movie was one of the scariest movies back in the days. Oh, my earrings are trying to put me through it. They're trying to put me through it. My earrings are trying to put me through it, y'all. Oh, there we go. And it was one of the scariest movies back in the days. It was a horror movie. Anybody remember what the name of this movie was? Anybody remember what the name of this movie was? This is a horror movie. That's right, this is Pinhead. Pinhead. It was one of the scariest movies back in the 1970s. I've seen lots of drag performers do a spoof off of this for the talent numbers and contests. Fabulous, fabulous. Miss Monica Monroe tore this up. Since Miss Monica Monroe, if you ever see my shows, girl, you tore Pinhead up. I'm sorry. You wore that out, girl. And that talent number you did in Miss Continental and in Miss US of A, that was fabulous, girl. You did that. All right, next coming up is anybody remember this movie? Anybody remember this movie? This man was always chasing Jamie Lee Curtis around town. He's chased her around for 30 years. And she walked off with the Oscar. That's right, Miss Jamie Curtis walked off with the Oscar. And this man has been chasing her. Anybody know who this man is? That's right, this is Mike Myers. Michael Myers has been chasing Jamie Lee Curtis around forever, and she ended up getting the Oscar. I don't know where he's at. He's somewhere in Hollywood, or well, he's supposed to be dead, but I think he came back. But anyway, Miss Jamie Lee Curtis got the Oscar, and I got nothing to say but good things about Miss Jamie Lee Curtis because she's fabulous, and I've watched all her horror movies, and I love her, even though I love Miss Angela Bassett just as well, and she deserves an Oscar too, and her time will come. But you know how Hollywood is. It's up and down, up and down. That's why I'm always online here hustling. It's like this here. If I ain't hustling, I ain't making no money. So, you got to keep going until you get the golden, that golden statue in your hand. You got to get that golden statue in your hand in Hollywood if you want those big dollars and you want those big movie projects. And I plan on getting some. Don't y'all see what my shirt say? I'm gonna be the Hall of Fame queen, honey. That queen from Orange County is gonna get hers, honey. Gonna get her coins, okay? Get her coins. Speaking of getting coins, anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this gentleman is? He loves gold coins, and yesterday was his day. Yesterday was his day. Anybody know who this gentleman is? Yesterday, the luck of the Irish. The luck of the Irish. Anybody know who this is? That's right. This is the Leprechaun from the movie Leprechaun. Yeah, that was on yesterday. It's so strange how I put all that together, and I didn't even see that coming. But I'm going to Hollywood and get my coins. I don't care. Anyway, this is Leprechaun, y'all. Leprechaun. Fabulous, fabulous. Coming up next is one of the scariest movies with John Ritter in 1979. This movie was the most scariest movie ever. And Tyler Perry made a remake of a movie called Boo. Boo 2 or Boo 3, one of those. And it featured this clown. Whenever you saw that red balloon on your street corner, you knew to run. And little kids were, when they saw the red balloon, they was taking the butt right in the house. You know how it is with most black kids know when the street light comes on in your neighborhood, that means that you need to be headed home or at home, okay? Because your mother, if that street light went out and you weren't home, ooh, and the drama. Anybody know who this is? Anybody know who this is? This is from the movie It. It was one of the most horrifying movies in the 1970s and very, very frightening. And I know y'all thought it was somebody else. But anyway, it's It. Oh, yeah. I was try that wig on sometime. Coming up next to you, the Wayans brothers did a remake of this movie. Also, who was in it was Neve Campbell from right here in Toronto. I know her, Miss Neve Campbell. Is right down the street from my house here in downtown Toronto. And she was one of the stars in this movie. And the Wayans brothers were also in this movie. And lots of others. Courtney Cox was in the movie. Anybody know what movie this is? 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 That's right, this is Scream. Scream. I had a fantasy one time that, I wanted to have my little boyfriend put the Scream mask on. That was back in the days before I matured. Now I'm a mature woman. I don't do these foolish things like that. Well, anyway, this is Scream, y'all. Scream. Oh, I'm something else. Oh, we're coming near to the end. This next celebrity was in Mississippi Burning, and he was fabulous. He was really fabulous, and I loved him in it. And he was in drag in the movie. Anybody know who this gentleman is? Anybody know who this famous actor is in drag? Anybody know who this famous actor is in drag? The movie was The Birdcage with Robin Williams and Nathan Lane. Anybody know who this actor is? You would never know who this is in drag. He was one of the main actors in Mississippi Burning and lots of other movies. And he was in drag at the end of the movie. And it's the funniest thing. If you haven't seen The Birdcage, you need to see it. It's the most hilarious movie ever. Nathan Lane and Robin Williams were fabulous. And Gene Hackman, oh, there you go. This is the actor Gene Hackman in full drag. Oh, you should see him at the end. Oh, Lord, have mercy on my walking down the road in drag. If you've ever been to A1A in Miami, Fort Lauderdale and Miami, it's something else. It's the most incredible thing. If you guys are looking for a place to do spring break and all that, Miami and Fort Lauderdale, you get you a nice hotel on the beach. It's beautiful. The weather's beautiful. The people are very beautiful, and there's a lot happening. And check it out. And that's where The Birdcage was filmed at and everything. And that's where I come from Orlando, but I grew up in Fort Lauderdale in Miami. So, but now I live in Toronto. This is my home. But somewhere down the line, I'm sure I'm going to be traveling to Florida for the 80s Con show. We're bringing that to Florida for sure. So thank you guys so much for joining me here today on Pronoun TV. Take care of yourselves. It's Saturday night. Do something with yourself. Have fun, everybody. And I hope you had a good time. And if not, find something to do with yourself. That's it. That's all I can do. That's all I can say. I got a smile on my face. Maybe it's because of the Jack. Ooh, Jack. I won't say what his last name is. Oh, it's so good. Thank you guys so much for joining me here tonight on Pronoun TV. Remember, I also have a podcast, That Girl from Orange County, starting in April. So check that out, okay? Thank you guys so much, and good night, and be a part of history. And do something, and don't stop fighting. Good night.